Okay, let's see if Nemo and Eowyn have anything to say now. Nemo clasps her hands together and bows her head. When she finally looks up and smiles at you, a wave of pleasure washes over your body. The effect is almost dizzying. Nemo thanked the stranger once more. She only hoped he knew how happy she felt to be reunited with Eowyn. Eowyn thanked the stranger. She had been reunited with her dearest friend, Nemo. It was my pleasure. She nods, then looks down again. The feelings are smile evoked, fading away into pleasant memories. I, Eowyn, would tell you something new now, stranger.
Updated
Yes,
my
go on.
journal.
The name I, Eowyn, chose for you, stranger, is not so fitting. You and I, Eowyn, have met before. In the fest hall. In a place you could not have been if you were not a sensei yourself. Whether you recall or no, unless you betrayed the Society of Sensation at some point, you are a sensei. I see, tell me more. She nods. You and I, Eowyn, have met on 2 different occasions. The first was no less than 2 centuries past. The last more recently, perhaps no more than 50 years ago. Quite a long time ago, she nods again. My, Eowyn's, people are extremely long-lived, forgetful one. She sighs unhappily, causing a chill to descend over you. You seemed a different man then, less grim, less scarred, so eager to see all that the multiverse had to offer. You courted me, Eowyn, then, and was nearly taken as a lover. But then you disappeared. Where did I go? I, Eowyn, was told that you had been slain. Murdered. She looks up for a moment to peer curiously into your eyes. I met you only once more after that. Did I remember you then? No. She shakes her head sadly, and touches her throat. No, you did not. You lashed out at me, Eowyn, made to slay me. Screamed how I, Eowyn, could not fool you, would not ensnare and murder you. What happened? We had met in one of the northern towers of the fest hall, on the 7th floor. Before you could choke the life from me, I, Eowyn, used my powers to bade you leap from a window to your death. When I, Eowyn, finally went in search of your broken body, you had already gone. That is the whole of my, Eowyn's, tale for you. We were not strangers once, but have now become so. Farewell, stranger, and may fortune walk with you in your travels.
Done.
Okay. Anyone named over here? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, that guy also, it's like the other barkeep, doesn't want to answer questions. Alright, let's talk to Elo Brand up here. And then I think that will be the full outside area explored. This old woman examines you closely with sharp gray eyes. First your face, then your arms and various tattoos. Greetings, scarred one. Come to speak with Elebrand, have you? Come to have your fortune told, mayhap? For paltry 5 coins? Had some questions. I do not speak of things mundane, scarred one. Then tell me my fortune. Elebrand places your coins in her belt pouch and takes your hands. He quietly studies your palms, frowning deeply. At long last, she speaks. Some rare folk are what's called fateless, you see. They wander through their lives doing as they see fit, creating their own destinies. You have no fortune to tell, scarred one. None at all. I have nothing to tell you. And so here is your coin. She returns your 5 coppers. In that case, farewell. Hold you one moment, scarred one. Elebrand reaches out, touching your arm. My mother gave you something long ago. A scroll, sealed with wax. A hooded man had entrusted it to her, and said that a man such as you would one day unwittingly come to claim it. Here, I would have you take it now. What is it? She shakes her head, frowning. I do not know. She was sworn to never read the thing, and I obeyed her request to leave the seal unbroken myself. The man had paid her handsomely to take the scroll, but warned her of the direst consequences should she open it.
All right.
I was wondering if there was going to be any interaction with her, because it seemed quite
All right.
basic until we actually told her to say goodbye. Or said goodbye to her, rather. Okay, dire consequences, so let's take a look. This scroll has been tightly bound with red ribbon and sealed with wax. You can't put your finger on it, but you've got a bad feeling about the thing. As if opening and reading the scroll could somehow be dangerous. This is an old, fading, innocuous-looking parchment scroll, bound with a single red ribbon and smelling faintly of mildew. The ribbon is held in place with plain wax seal.
Updated my journal.
The scroll contains a few lines of shaky calligraphy in a strange rune. The calligraphy reads, "This may not kill you, but it will slow you down. I am sure. Stop chasing me, you thieving bastards. It's my body. Mine, mine, mine. Now die." The rune suddenly throbs, and the entire scroll begins to dissolve into a stinking black mess. The fluid seeps directly into the flesh of your hands. In seconds, the magical hemotoxin begins to render your blood into black bile. For a moment, you clutch yourself, howling in agony, and then the pain subsides. You have survived whatever horrible magic was placed on the scroll.
It wouldn't kill you to say a few words to me, Fiendling. Or hug
But
me.
it did do like 30 damage. Okay, I'm wondering if maybe I could end up using that scroll elsewhere. Let me check. I wonder if that's part of the unfinished business mod. It doesn't actually seem to have any impact. It's kind of a
I had to wake up
little
from the
story
dark.
beat. You see Ellebrand, the fortune teller. I greet you once more, Scarred One. I read that scroll. It was trapped. He looks confused. I don't know what to say to you, Scarred One. You could start by saying exactly how you came by the thing. As I told you, Scarred One, it was given to me by my mother. A hooded man had given it to her some 50 years past, paying her well, but bidding her to never read it, whatever the circumstances. She sighs, but looking away for a moment. A user of magic she was, powerful in the art, but frightened of this man just the same. She had to set his eyes, all she could see of him, really. Hinted at madness, and that the flesh around them was puckered and gray, like yours. I knew nothing more of him.
All right.
So presumably one of my previous incarnations. Okay, Finham's the linguist's house. We actually have something. It's Finham's book. Picked it up in the brothel. But let's go to the curiosity shop first, I think. A curious looking building, to say the least. Shelves full of mugs, plates, books, decanters, candle holders, and other bric-a-brac. Most are of strange metals or minerals, and many of the books appear to be bound in flesh. Anything else we can look at here? A set of unusual forge tools. Though their handles look to be made of carved bone, they are heavier than iron. An empty book holder, holding a set of invisible books. 3 orbs resemble nothing so much as large, colored pearls. They tremble slightly at your touch and give off a faint warmth. Several very large teeth. A dozen smaller ones lie stacked on a shelf above them. A massive battle standard. It looks to be made of some scaled creature's hide. Its sight stirs up faint memories. You may not have seen this particular one before, but others like it perhaps.
Done.
These swords are beautiful, worked with delicate engravings and inscriptions. They are merely decorative, however, and unsuitable for use in combat. So, talk to Standish here. This downtrodden little man scurries about the curiosity shop, dusting, cataloging, and moving things about for the place's proprietress. You notice he smells faintly of onions. He glances up at you nervously as you approach him. Please, sir, I cannot speak with you. I've work to do, and my mistress simply won't allow it. Just had a few questions. I'm sorry, sir, but I can't. Please leave me be, before my mistress notices me talking to you and... Your mistress? The little man nods. Yes, Mistress Vishrika. I am Standish, her servant, her slave. I committed a crime and was sentenced to slavery, then purchased in the lower ward, like many of her slaves, most of whom she keeps in her manor. Now please, I beg you, leave me be, or I shall become angered and beat me unmercifully. Okay, so she seems like a real treat. I think she might also be the one we can sell slaves to. Oh, hey, someone with a actual portrait. This sharp-featured woman's appearance is attractive, though somewhat disturbing, with her blue-black skin and bright yellow eyes. As she examines you, a small pair of bat-like wings unfolds from her back, then seem to settle back into her skin. Well, well, well. A floating, disembodied, prevaricating skull? And fall from grace, or whatever it is you call yourself now. Truly a pleasure to see you here. What do I owe the honor of your visit? I thought that you rarely trafficked among our kind anymore. She glances at you for a moment, with the same faint sneer. Or is your assignment here almost finished? I do not know what assignment you are referring to, Vrishika, though your presence here brings with it many questions. Last I heard, you were a standard bearer for the Company of the Vulture. How did you come to Sigil? She replies curtly, firing a question back like an arrow. By choice. And you? Where will your orders take you next? She suddenly turns to you. You see, little man. Rashika smiles as if savoring the words. The best temptress is one that can make you buy into the illusion of being both promiscuous yet virtuous at the same time. A prostitute priestess, as it were. Mistress Grace is among the greatest. She turns to fall from grace. Are you not? You would not think that a 1,000 years of slavery had left their scars, no? Fall from grace speaks with a coldness you have never heard before. The air almost becomes ice as she dissects Vrishika with her great gaze. That is enough. Very well. That you are the ones who came into my emporium. Vrishika looks to you. She narrows her eyes. You're the scarred man who's been going around asking all the questions. She looks you up and down. You sure look lost. Did you want to come in, really? Or are you just casing the place because you have nothing better to do? Because Vrishika, she indicates herself, can help you. Hold on, that slightly changed. I'm sure it doesn't matter, but saying bye looked like I may have missed a couple of dialogue options potentially. How can you help me? I travel and trade extensively. I hear a great deal. I purchase a great deal. And I own a great deal. Perhaps I can make you a great deal. Is there anything you desire? Perhaps. What are you selling? Would you care to examine the weapons and charms? Or some of my more exotic acquisitions? The weapons and charms. Okay. Okay, this is a permanent constitution. Okay, so she, I believe she has the hardest shop difficulty in the game to steal from. I think it's like a 95% failure chance. Okay, let's see what we got here. Fire Drake. Hillisai, we've already got one of those. Dread Bond. Immunity to panic and +1 strength. Only usable by fighters and living creatures. Interesting. Oh, Cloud Kill is good. Okay, we may actually just end up buying some of this stuff, but let's see if we can get away with stealing. Oh, very nice.
I'm here.
So that buffed me up to 12 con, and also that was the main reason that I wanted my character lawful good. Although I do suspect there are a couple other scenarios where that comes in handy. This looks like a good one. Oh, wow, another Dave. So is this a ring or bracelet? And that's only usable by thieves, fighters, and living creatures. So. Hey, legend has it that this bracelet was... Hey, Velbeck. Yeah, I mean, I do have relatively high pickpocketing. But I think even with this, it's like a 50% chance failure, roughly. Okay. Put this strength up
What you be wanting
briefly.
now?
Oh, I should actually check how,
In enduring, grow strong.
how high does this allow me to buff? Cannot bestow a strength of 21 or greater. Okay, so he's got 21 strength just like on his own. Oh, well, actually, I don't know if that counts for, counts the existing buffs or not. I'm guessing he can go higher because it's a green number,
I will hear you.
but I can check. Alright, let's see if I can manage to steal any more. Okay, definitely want Cloud Kill. Wow, I'm like shocked I got multiple steals off in a row. Okay, hold on, let me check my I don't think I... Oh no. Okay, he does have a that's kind of annoying. I should have given Cone of Cold to Decon probably, and then had Cloud Kill for myself. Let's see, I wonder how many Cloud Kills we will end up getting in the game. No saving throw. Alright. Alright, anything else? Spider bracelet. I don't see why we need more than one of those. Ashes of Pobulum? These ashes are all that remains of the school of the illusionists called the Pobulum. According to their expedition logs, they traveled to the plain of Shale in search of the lost works of the Fosterer, a powerful sorcerer who once ruled an empire where the plain of Shale now lies. The naive illusionists were successful, and they stumbled across one of his lost works, a hive of vicious creatures called the Trellins. The remains of the mages were found days later by two barrier scouts and were burned over a pyre as symbol of their folly. To unlock the power of these ashes, one only needs to stir them with the index finger of the left hand, then sprinkle a pinch of the ashes into the air in a circular pattern. The smell of the remains of these dead mages is said to cause a Trellin to appear to serve the user. No one knows where the Trellins originated from, but they seem to combine the worst characteristics of demons and insects. They seem to bear an insane hatred for mages, but the reason for this is unknown. Summons Trellins. I wonder if this has a limited number of uses. Hey, what about Heart of Forester? Or no, not Forester, Foster. Summons the Somian. Also only usable by evil and neutral characters. This strange object is said to be the heart of the Fosterer. According to legend, the Fosterer was a sorcerer who built his empire upon the plain of Shale many centuries ago. He was rumored to have 3,333 hearts, and each of them carried in it a different evil he had committed in his lifetime. One of the evils he committed was the discovery of how to summon the Somian and bind them to his will. It is said that the Fosterer was carried away by the beasts after he invoked them against some ancient foe, leaving only his hearts behind. According to the planar scholars, the Somian are fiendish horses, said to have been born from the blood of the last of the Nightmare Lords. They're not so much flesh and blood as an abstract given substance. They come to anyone who seeks revenge and bind themselves to them. They were born from a great treachery at Gloommeet, the time when the fiends gathered to speak to the others of their kind. The nightmares ride the skies to gather the fiends to this meeting, acting as messengers. While the fiends saw that the nightmares are helpful, convenient allies, they had grown tired of bartering with the last of the Nightmare Lords for his consent to use them. So the fiends called the Gloommeet, only for the purpose of killing. They lured the Nightmare Lord there to kill him. And when he arrived, the fiends set upon him. He beseeched the other nightmares for aid, but they only watched, their eyes aflame as their lord was attacked. The fiends tried to put him in the dead book. They scattered the earth with caltrops, covered with the foulest poisons in the hells, hurled barbed cold iron spears a league wide into him. And when he tried to take the air to escape, they turned the sky alight with magic, blinding his eyes white. They struck at him with everything in their hateful arsenal. But no matter what they struck him with, he was too proud to die. They hounded him to the edge of the Outlands, firing their cruel arrows and spears into him, until he staggered into the hinterland mists and died there. Or so it is said. It's said that as the Nightmare Lord stumbled into the mists of the hinterlands, his dark blood left a steaming trail across the landscape. Wherever his blood fell, the Outland itself cried out, wailing like a banshee, uttering the cries the Nightmare Lord would not. Less than a year later, the Somian rode from the hinterlands, seeking out any nightmares and fiends where they could find them. Their cries were the same as had risen from the blood wounds on the Outlands, and their minds were focused solely on revenge. It is said that gripping the heart of the Somian and wishing harm upon another will cause them to appear. The Somian will answer the user's call, then fade into the mists from whence they came. I don't know if I really need a summon thingy. Alright, give me a second, I need some water. Okay.
I had to wake up from the dead in a place like this.
Alright, let's look at her exotic options, and then we still have to ask her questions. Rashika smiles at you as you look at the various shelves in the middle of the shop. If you see nothing you like here, there are more items towards the front and the back of the store as well. Examine the exceptionally black orb. You examine a small black and featureless orb. Rashika picks it up and hands it to you. It's cold to the touch and heavier than it looks. This orb is said to be a stable portal into an artificial, non-dimensional space. The previous owner hadn't disclosed more about its nature, but it's not hard to imagine what it can be used for. I will part with it for the bargain of 1,000 copper commons. Storing items, right? But of course. I cannot accurately determine the actual dimension of this artificial space, but it should be sufficient for your needs in any case. So you decided to purchase it? I'll take it. Yes, Rashika purrs. A wise choice. The copper you pour into her hand seems to disappear the moment it touches her palm. She hands you the item. Please enjoy your newest acquisition. This a sealed pocket singularity. What looks like a black orb from afar is actually a transportable portal into a non-dimensional space. Not much is known about its nature since the maker of this curious device has long been forgotten by time. The portal appears to be dormant or sealed, however. No matter how hard you try, you can't find a way to open it.
One foot in the grave, the other in hell.
Examine. You take a closer look at the orb. At first, the surface of the item looks black and featureless. When you relax your eyes a bit, you can see some kind of afterimage which changes in intensity depending on how you move your left hand. After trying out different gestures, the orb flashes briefly and produces a faint, permanent halo around it. You can effortlessly reach into what seems to be an alternate space.
Updated my journal.
So, another, like, a bag of holding, I guess, essentially. Actually, already have a Gorgon salve, so maybe I don't, buy that one.
I wonder what it was I said that made death reject me.
Okay. Exotic items. So yeah, looks like we can get another one of those. Also, monster jug. I wonder if that's also the same jug that the drunken mage has. Not sure. Okay, examine the fiend's tongue. You examine what appears to be a tongue floating in a jar of brine. Rashika frowns at it. This is a fiend's tongue. A Cornugan's, I think. But who really knows? It said that, placed into the mouth of any living thing, it will give the ability of speech, even if there was none before. I'm selling this oddity for only 66 copper, should you want it. I'll take it. Maybe for Echo? Examine the metallic cube figurine. You examine a small metal replica of a cube-like creature with huge eyes on its face. The toy has 2 legs, 2 arms, 2 folding wings, and at least 18 points of articulation. Rashika smiles as you pick it up. Collector's item, perhaps? Or a piece of artwork. Who knows, but I like it. If you do buy it, ask around. Someone might know more about it than I. You can have it for only 1,500 copper. Okay. Monster jug. You examine a plain-looking jug. Despite its common appearance, you feel reluctant to touch the thing, as if it might bite you. Rashika watches you, chuckling, then shrugs. It's a jug. It's got some sort of monster trapped in it. That's why your hair is prickling up like that. You like it. It's only 123 copper. and I'm sure that would seem that would just like let it out to save briefly and test that theory. We'll probably hold on to it instead. Yeah, okay. Garlith. I thought it was one of those, I thought it was a different type at first, but that just looks similar, or rather similar coloring. Okay. Gorgon Salve. Examine the bottle labeled Gorgon Salve. Rashika holds it up for you. I traded for this with some sword-slinging prime worlder. Perseus, I think his name was. Smeared onto the surface of any being turned to stone, it will revert them to flesh. Only 100 copper commons. A bargain, considering how handy it might be, should you ever find a friend of yours transmuted to rock. Okay, we already have one of those, so no need to buy one, I don't think. Okay, what about baby oil? You examine a number of small bottles, each labeled as baby oil. Rashika picks one up and presents it to you. Interested? It's the real thing, of course. Thousands of mewling mortal babies went into the making of stuff. Okay. Can't even. I was gonna say that'd be quite the thing to have. Examine the chocolate closet. You examine a twisted, imp-like creature sculpted out of pure milk chocolate. It looks delicious, does it not? Imported from the lower plains. These are rare, you know, and quite prized by lovers of chocolate and confections. It's a real quasit, a fiendish familiar, polymorphed into chocolate by powerful sorcery. Okay. Oops. Okay, what else do I have? Codex of the Inconceivable. You examine a rather unassuming book held closed by tiny brass lock. That, coos Rashika, is the Codex of the Inconceivable. I'll only say that it's just, well, I can't explain it. Mere words simply won't suffice. You can own it for yourself for a mere 1,000 copper commons. And believe me, well worth it. Okay. Deva's Tears. You examine a small glass vial labeled Deva's Tears. These were collected from a Deva who was captured during a blood war skirmish. The fiends tormented the imprisoned angel for eons before he at last escaped. This small bottle holds the 12 tears he shed in that time. 100 copper commons. What else do we got? The Elixir of Horrific Separation. You examine a bottle labeled Elixir of Horrific Separation. She presents it to you. This stuff was compounded by a scholar who'd found she possessed a darker half, the side of her which took control at times and bade her to do awful things. This potion was to have split the darker half away from her, creating two separate beings. Mercy killers, however, found and executed her for a string of depraved murders before she could use it. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, that looks like everything at the front of the store. Back of the store, examine the stained lens. You examine a stained, ground glass lens the width of your hand, held in brushed steel ring. A small, geared protrusion coming off the ring makes it look as if the lens should attach to some sort of clockwork machine, and it smells faintly of horrible perfume. She holds it up to you. I have no idea what this really is, but it radiates fairly powerful magic. An old soldier named Gissus brought it up to me from a lower plane battlefield. He murdered his own men in order to escape his tour of duty there, and brought me a number of interesting items he'd collected over the course of the campaign. I've kept it mostly as a conversation piece, though you may have it. Okay. Yevra's ring. You examine a ring in a small, padded case. She holds it up so you can see it more closely. This is Yevra's ring of almost invisibility. It makes the wearer invisible. Well, almost. Okay. Let's see what we got here now. Oh, I'm kind of shocked I can't identify this just by looking at it. Soothe the most savage anger, even that of a fiend's tongue. Okay. That, go hand in hand with that then. Um, Hold on, what's my lore? 96? Jeez. Yeah, I'm kind of shocked I can't identify that. Sure, why not? We'll try and remember that next time I rest. The Ring of Almost Invisibility. Oh, wow, just +1 to armor class. That's it, really? I wonder if it has any visible impact.
All right.
Actually, I think it does. Yeah, it definitely does. Interesting. Okay. So do I want to put this on Ignis, who has worse armor, or well, from Grace, who could feasibly end up in melee range more easily?
Does this mean we are engaged?
I'm gone.
Hold on, what else did I have here? Okay, let's finish buying stuff, then we can check out all the items we got in closer detail. A rune-covered Aelstein. You examine a large pewter Aelstein covered in strange runes. He holds it up to you for you to look closely. An ale mug of unusual manufacture, which keeps its contents, usually beer of course, icy cold, whatever the surrounding temperature. 299 copper commons, and you'll enjoy the frostiest ale you've ever had outside of the paraplane of ice. So yeah, the Drunken Mage had one of these too. I'm wondering if I could potentially be like missing out on something by using the one she gives me rather than trying to get it from the Drunken Mage, but maybe we can get two for some reason. Tattered Ragdoll. The years have not been kind to this tiny ragdoll. It is coming apart at the seams, and it looks like its threads are unraveling. It's obviously intended to be a replica of the Lady of Pain, but the button eyes and its plush softness don't strike much fear into your heart. Rashiko holds it up to you. This was found in a well-trapped strongbox sunk deep beneath the surface of Sigil. It was part of a small hoard of treasures and forbidden magical texts. Though I don't know what it's for. If you like it, it's only 99 copper coins. Hey, did we get all these special items? Well, not the Gorgon salve, but we already have one. The baby oil we can't get. Okay. Maybe we can ask her questions. Okay, I suspect this is maybe one way that we can get, like, mazed. If we wanted to. Yeah. Don't know if I actually really have a reason for that, but we'll hold on to it for now. And then, hey, Cassidy. Welcome, welcome. And then maybe we look at this Codex of the Inconceivable. Stretch. Thank you for the stretch. Okay. What you had first taken to be the rather unassuming book held closed by a tiny brass lock is, in actuality, bound in strange leathers and enchanted bronze. It is labeled simply, The Codex of the Inconceivable. Open it and read. You unlock the book's bindings and open it. As you glance over the tome's contents, your jaw drops. You stand, spellbound. Flipping through its pages, its contents are simply too much to be described. Mere words seem powerless to explain the wonders it holds. Yee, thank you for the subscription, Cass. I appreciate it. That was... that... I... What? What? What was in it, Chief? Show him the codex. Mort floats over your shoulder to examine the codex's contents. His eyes nearly pop out of their sockets as they scan the pages. Ooh, oh, hi, but... wow. The art. You stand thoughtfully for a moment, looking down at the codex before closing it and reverently putting the tome away. I wonder if it has any other uses. Okay.
I had to wake up from the dead in a
So I
place
need
like
to
this.
remember to, it's going good.
I must be hallucinating all this.
Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of reading, but going good. Yeah. While we're here, I guess we should ask her if we can ask some questions. I'll entertain any questions about the merchandise, but I'm not going to be drawn into one of your famous 20 questions about anything around the spire. Understood? Oh yeah, we can try and sell her a party member for our evil book. I want to test this. I don't know if this actually works, but I want to see. Oops. Rishika's full black lips curl into a smile. I'm always interested in acquiring more help. Standish, the lazy dullard, helps me around the store, but I could use another body for my manor. Who are you offering? I'll pay 5,000 coins if they're decent. Oh, it doesn't even let me choose Ignis? Oh. Wait, really? What if I, like, rearranged? No. Okay. So much for that idea. Should probably just get rid of this book then. Hey, Elbeck. Thank you very much for the follow. See what else she has to say. What are you, Rishika? She sighs loudly. An Alu fiend, a half-demon. My mother was a Tanari, a fiend, and my father, a great king of mortals. Such a rude question, but then, you're rather rude-looking yourself, aren't you? What did you mean by calling Morty, or Mort, prevaricating? Prevaricating, misrepresenting, perjuring, dissimulating, lying. Oh, did I say that? I'd meant a floating, disembodied, pontificating skull. As in, dogmatic. always stating an opinion in a self-important manner. She smiles innocently. Tell me about this place at least. What you see within the shop is the result of much trading and traveling across the plains. She makes a sweeping gesture of the shop. Weapons, charms, and other specialty items are here for sale. Everything that is rare and oh so exquisite fills this emporium. Your needs, I sate them. Okay. What about Fall from Grace? Oh, that Bayatsu camp follower who's made our home in Sigil? Curious, no? But then, what better place to train our agents than that little brothel of hers? Bayatsu camp follower? Ever since her mother sold her into slavery, she has been a plaything of the plains for many a century. She claims that she was able to free herself from her chains, but you may give that word as much credence as you would give the word of any Tanari bitch. She smiles slightly. Myself excluded, of course. It is the truth. Truth? Truth? One does not win free of Bayatsu contracts, bitch cloaked in human skin. You speak lies, and all the Tanari hordes know it, from the lowest legions to the other comfort-sucking succubi as they cavort across the plains. Fall from Grace was but a Bayatsu slave from the moment she was born, and so she shall always be. You still are an indentured plaything of the Bayatsu, to be tortured and commanded as they see fit. She sneers. You and behave as they do. One may win free of the Bayatsu contracts, if one is wary of the word in, and if one simply realizes Bayatsu are beholden to keep their own word. One must simply beware of any meanings that may be twisted to their ends. I am well versed in language and subtleties. Even so, it was not an easy matter. Enough. I do not care to hear you speak your lies in my presence. She maintains her flawless composure, simply nods, though when you catch her eye, she gives you a slightly exasperated look, then smiles. What was it you said about her training agents? Yes, they are her eyes and ears in the city of Sigil and across the plains. What they do not see or hear, they might coerce from another man that has seen and heard. And who could think humans capable of such deception and trickery? Oh, Grace is indeed a clever one. Not as clever as her mother, perhaps, but clever nonetheless. That is not the purpose of my establishment. Oh, but of course not. Did I dare suggest such a thing? But perhaps you should let the man judge for himself. She turns to you, her eyes blazing. Do you not wonder, little man? Does the method of reason and curiosity ever enter your mind as to this matter? Does not the arrangement at the brothel seem strange to you? She goes on before you can answer. Occam's razor can leave a scar, but it can remove the deeper ailments so often caused by poisons of liars and imaginers. And now here she is, traveling with you, most curious. Why would someone, a proprietress of such an establishment, leave it for any reason? And for a man she barely knows. Questions, questions. The answers may be painful indeed. He is well aware of why I agreed to travel with him, when he asked me to do so. Oh, I'm certain he did ask. What man could resist? She sneers and looks away in disgust. Okay, I think that's all the questions. Yep. Okay, our ad's going to start here in a couple minutes. But we're going to head back over to the brothel and prepare to give Echo this tongue.
Done.
Okay, oh, Echo's right here at the entrance. That's handy.